All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first ever episode of the Crosscut DP Podcast. My name is Hushfield, and with me is none other than Lucas Demania. Lucas, how are you doing, my man?
Hey everyone, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty pumped. Like we've been talking about this for a while, so I'm actually happy we're getting to do this stuff. So, I guess maybe before we get into it, we'll sort of introduce what the podcast is all about, and then, go over what we'll be covering today.
Yeah, sounds good.
Basically, the goal of this podcast is to cover Street Fighter V, more specifically pro play. So any like matches or tournaments, whether it be CPT or any of the various other leagues, if something happens, we'll definitely watch it, and we'll sort of pick out the high points and the highlights and let you know about that. Maybe before we continue, we should sort of let the listeners, the audience, know who we are. So, Lucas,
who are we? Who are we? Who are these two randoms on the internet?
Yes. Also that, and who are we really? But for the people that don't know you, who are you?
Yeah. So my name's Lucas. Gamertag Lucas the Maniac, or Maniac when I'm feeling a little spicy in the games. You know how it goes. I play Colleen, some other characters, and I'm from Belgium, just like my fellow host here, Hushfield. How about you, my man?
It's pretty similar actually. So I'm also mainly a Street Fighter V player. I play Kuma, and only Kuma, because Kuma is life.
Straight to the top tier, you know how it goes here in Belgium.
Exactly, that's
we
don't mess around with that shit. No. All right, so I guess that's basically all you need to know. Apart from that, like we really follow the pro scene. We try to watch most, if not all, of the tournaments. So
at least the big ones, and I try to watch most of them at least, and try to catch even the smaller ones if I find the time.
Yeah, you're really sneaky about that. Like at first I didn't notice, but then you watch all the Japanese stuff as well, right?
Yeah, I do most of it at least.
Right.
Sometimes the time zones and the streaming platforms are like semi-annoying, so I don't catch them all. But like a lot of Japanese people post the replays on YouTube and stuff, so I catch it here and there.
Yeah, that's right. Because like Twitch is like they use Twitch, but like there's a lot of stuff going on at like Open Rec and these other platforms.
Yeah,
right?
like Rage, the Rage tournament, the Japanese tournament is like sponsored by like Abema TV or something. I'm pretty sure it's called, and like so they kind of are probably like obliged to stream there. Same with Open Rec and stuff. They all have like contracts with them, I'm pretty sure, so they never stream on Twitch.
Okay, yeah, that's also like a really, really Asian thing to do. Like I know, like in Korea with StarCraft Brood War, it's the exact same thing. Like they use these really obscure platforms that we've never heard of, and like they have to stream it there. And
it was the same in like this is like already going off track a little bit, but like the Dota scene, for example. There's like a Chinese platform called Panda TV. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but like it's basically a Chinese platform that has a bunch of money in it, and like a lot of Dota, like Western Dota players, just went to Panda TV, where like none of the Western players went, just because they offer you so much money. It's actually insane. They get like 6 or 7 figures for just like streaming there a little. It's actually ridiculous.
Okay, I guess we still we're in the wrong business, man. So
tune in next week. This podcast on Panda TV.
Oh, for sure. All right. So moving along. See, the thing is, because we're obviously going to be covering the pro scene, we're going to be talking mainly about matches that have already happened. So here's a big fat spoiler warning. If you do not want to be spoiled, don't listen to this podcast.
True.
Because that's kind of the point. However, since we definitely ourselves, we don't like spoilers. I mean, I certainly don't like spoilers. I don't know about you, but
they suck if you want to know the results yourself.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is, before we start the podcast, the actual podcast, each week we're going to have like a tiny spoilerless section. Where we're going to highlight like a certain match or a couple of matches that we thought, these were really cool. If you haven't seen anything, watch these first before you listen to the podcast. So actually, I think you have highlighted a game that you wanted to share with the people, right? So could you just...
it was the winners final, I'm pretty sure, from Brussels Challenge. and the grand finals. They are both very recommended, especially to. Wait, no, I'm not gonna say the character because that's spoiled.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind
I'm new
of.
to this. Forgive me.
Yeah, no, see, this is why we need to put the spoilerless shit at the very start of the show, because nobody wants to like watch their back with that. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you want to highlight basically Brussels Challenge, winners finals, maybe grand finals, something like that. So yeah, for me, like I'm still super salty that I missed Brussels Challenge, the major edition. So.
Yeah, that was real unfortunate. So for the people who don't know, our man Hushfield here got sick right before the tournament because of his puny little school kids that he teaches made him sick.
Oh man, I'm definitely
Those
blaming the
little
school
rats.
kids on this. The little turds.
Yeah, he was unable to attend.
Yeah,
Very
no.
unfortunate.
No, the little turds, they know I love them. But yeah, so basically what the game I would really want to highlight is from a tournament that just happened this weekend. That was April Annihilation. Over,
Alright, yeah. Yesterday was it.
Pool play, man. Like, I'm not going to... I'm not going to say anything for now. I'll just post the links. But there's a certain player that I hadn't seen before who was just, he really was tearing it up in pool play. So I'll leave the link down below.
Very nice.
Right. I guess this marks the end of the spoilerless bit. So if you don't want any spoilers, turn off the podcast right now.
Or, even better, go watch the match and then come back to the podcast.
Exactly. Right. So now we can actually talk about the shit, right? So the matches, the person I was really impressed with was this Ed player called Get Wrecked.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him before, but like first match I saw him play, first match that NuckleDo played in the tournament, immediately bam, NuckleDo in losers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was not a fluke either. Like he was playing super well. So like his entire run through pools play, I think he ended just out of top 8 or something, but like his Ed play, it was really something else. And it's cool too, because basically the only other Ed we ever get to see is Dominion, but like I don't know, he's not around anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's up to, but he's definitely not on the top level of play consistently anymore. So.
Yeah, we don't see him anymore, right? So actually seeing an Ed and like doing really well, like he made some Galaxy brain plays there. So.
Do we have any idea if that's like his actual tag, or if he goes by like a different tag online, like the Get Wrecked?
No, I think he's called Get Wrecked because he was even like, I believe, sponsored by like Sonic Box or something.
Oh.
So hopefully we get to see more of him. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that.
Yeah. So we were talking about Brussels Challenge, the ranking events that happened a couple of weeks. Look, last week it wasn't pretty sure, right? Last week in Brussels, our own country, of course. And my noted player was definitely Angry Bird. Of course, the person who won the tournament in the end. But like, I was watching him casuals too. His play just looked on a completely different level than what I'm used to seeing from him. Like last year, even, because he's still pretty new to the scene. Like last year, it was still a very new face. Like not as old school as Angry Bird in the SF5 scene. No, not Angry Bird, sorry, Big Bird. I'm already mixing them together. But so yeah, what I was seeing him do was like just completely new and just different from any others I could have seen before. So the semifinals especially is what I wanted to check out. The grand finals were really good too, but like if people have seen the matches, they're probably gonna have seen the grand finals more than the semifinals. So to me personally, the semifinals were a bit more like stand out of his play, like you could see his play more. So
wait,
yeah,
do you mean like the semifinals or like the winners final?
Yeah, okay. The winners final probably wasn't. Yeah, doing well with head is always fun to see. Not to play against yourself, but very fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't want to play versus Ed. I want to watch Ed. Like that's. Oh no, man! Like the dash up sweeps, get that shit out of here, man.
Dash up sweep, dash up EX upper. That's the next level.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so before we actually move into the podcast, let's have a look at what's actually on the menu for today. So we're going to cover first 2 leagues. So the US Street Fighter League just started with their draft, so we're definitely gonna have a look at that. Then afterwards, we're gonna have a look at the Japanese leagues because Rage League just ended. And then there's a whole bunch of CPT action. We're going to look back at the Brussels Challenge, gonna have a look at April Annihilation, Then have a look at the current CPT standings, and finally we'll round it out with a preview for the next premiere that's going to be happening.
Mixup.
Indeed, the Mixup in Lyon. So that's what we got planned for today. All right, so I guess the first thing we'll be covering today is the establishment of the US Street Fighter League.
All right, yeah.
Actually, there's been a lot of talk about this. So before we get into it, what have you heard about the Street Fighter League?
I mean, I follow Twitter pretty closely and a lot of the American players, so I saw it pass by daily, especially before it started. Because the way it worked is they had to nominate people to participate in it, right? Is that how it worked? Before the players were known?
Yeah, exactly. There was these it was a community vote to get
Right. Yeah, so I saw that pass very often, which I think is pretty good for publicity for the tournament itself, because most of the people will have already heard of it before it even started. So
yeah, for sure.
I think it's a pretty cool initiative for sure. We miss content honestly in the FGC, so another tournament type of deal, which is pretty close, not really close, but kind of similar to the Rage tournament we'll be briefly going over later in Japan, where Japan has a lot of content, man, Street Fighter, even on regular television and all that stuff. So I'm happy that there's something else in the making here in the West.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm really glad that you brought up that parallel between the Street Fighter League and the Rage League, because I believe that from moving forward, that isn't the Rage League going to be sort of integrated in the same style. They're also call it just the Street Fighter League, but then hosted by Rage or something.
Yeah, right. I think they will. So it's gonna be up till now, I'm pretty sure the Rage was a separate thing, right? Not really connected to Capcom at least, or the official stuff. So I think it will be now, because they probably saw how much popularity it was gaining, the Rage stuff, because it is really popular, even in the West. A lot of people watching the recaps, even on YouTube or whatever it might be. So
yeah, for sure. I've definitely checked it, and I feel like Capcom is really taking a sort of a page out of Blizzard's book. I feel like they did the exact same thing with for StarCraft 2, their WCS series, and how they integrated the GSL in there. So
Yeah. So Rage will be the US one, it will be Street Fighter League, official. But then, you said, just powered by Rage.
Okay.
Basically the same tourney, but just labeled as Street Fighter League.
Yeah, cool. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. The Street Fighter League, they aired their very first episode, which was a draft episode, and I'm glad that they did that. It's another staple of these esport leagues. You see a lot again in there will definitely be some references to Korean StarCraft, because that's sort of the background I come from, as far as esports is concerned. But basically these draft shows, normally what happens is you have maybe they'll have pre-decided team captains, and then they get to choose other people, and it's just there's lots of talking, and there's they crack jokes, and maybe they'll throw some shade at each other, but that's about it. But I was really pleasantly surprised that they played a ton of games. They played 11 sets. Granted,
yeah, they did. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so but basically the thing is, they were first to ones, and they were in the highest levels of sets. But I was actually surprised. It was pretty entertaining to watch. So
first ones are always entertaining. It's pretty much a spectator pleaser, because first to one, anything can happen. Even though even one of the two players will most likely still be favored, but it can always go both ways, pretty much, especially in Street Fighter 5. So
yes, yeah, exactly.
I think first to ones are very fun to watch.
So and I think it was also pretty good. Already they used it to sort of showcase the rule to the tournament, because for those that haven't really been following what's it all about, so the Street Fighter League is a 3 versus 3 tournament, which consists of 6 teams. Now there are 6 captains, the captains being Knuckle Dude, Justin Wong, Punk, Idem, Toy, and Nephew. And so these are just people who were very high in last year's CPT standings. Now they get to pick from 12 players to add 2 players each to their team. And these players, they've been decided, as Lucas pointed out, previously by community votes on Twitter and Reddit and so on. Now, the thing that has almost everybody's panties in a bunch here is the fact that this tournament has a very
ban system.
Exactly, like this feature, we never see it in like the fighting game community, right? You can ban a character. So yeah, how do you feel about that?
This is something we already see in MOBAs, right? Like all the time, you usually have 5 bans on both sides. But it's like, I think the reason there's so many people, like some people are against it and some people are for it. I think the reason it's so split is because, unlike MOBAs, most people are character specialists, you know, like in MOBAs, most characters play along the same lines. While in games like Street Fighter or fighting games in general, like most characters have such a different like playstyle, and most people do have a best character. While that may not necessarily be true for games like MOBAs or League of Legends, Dota, and stuff like that. So I personally think it's really good. If you told me this in like season 1 or 2, I would probably say it's not that good. It would probably still be fun to watch. But I'd say it's season 4. People have had a lot of time. A lot of people do play multiple characters, and I think it's entertaining to watch for sure. And we'll see people play characters that we might not usually see in tournaments. So yeah, I like it personally.
Oh, cool. Yeah, actually, I feel like I can definitely sort of echo your sentiment about it's good that they do this sort of like later on in Street Fighter 5's life cycle. But then like you said, many people even this late in the the life of the game still only really main a single character, and like the sort of the con that many people have voiced is like, yeah, we want to see the actual top level matches, because even like in the first ones to sort of showcase their abilities, many of these players that were voted in, they were showcasing like, hey, I have another character, I can not only do I play this one, I play another character as well. And not gonna lie, some of those matches, they're a bit bust ass. For instance, like the one that I like really remember, El Shakote, he pulled out a Dulcim. Now, I'm not gonna lie, his Dulcim is pretty trashed here. Like, obviously it's the first one. Like, maybe he didn't get to showcase his stuff, but it looked kind of crappy. So
yeah, that's as well. Like people like, off the top of my head, I'd say like Punk, NuckleDo, Justin Wong too, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
They at least have two characters on a very high level. Notably, like NuckleDo, especially because he does play both characters in Tourney a lot, and Punk as well. He plays like a lot of characters. Maybe his Korean is still like by far his best character, but he definitely won't be hurt too badly from the bans. While people like you just said, El Chacote, or maybe off the top of my head, like Brian F, maybe people like Balrog, he plays Balrog very religiously, or like Broly Legs even. He plays Chun-Li, right, with his disability, so...
Yeah, exactly. I think, like, Broly Legs is definitely a good sort of pick to go after. But there's another thing, because he's on Punk's team, right? And there's the other player that ended up on that team, so maybe we'll go over the team, sort of the teams in a bit. But Team Inferno, that's Punk, Broly Legs, and JB. And JB has gone on record saying he plays Rashid and only Rashid. And like in the first two ones also, he only played Rashid. He's like, so I feel like JB is maybe even a better target for like a target ban on that team than Broly Legs. But
that is true, because like, of course, no offense, but if you consider Broly Legs is probably the weakest player in that team, so you might just want to like take out like JB's best character over Broly's main. You might not even mind fighting against Broly's Chun-Li over JB's Rashid in general. So
yeah, for sure.
Even if Broly will like be completely like have nothing to do without Chun-Li, it might still be most advantageous to take away the Rashid from JB, like you said.
Yeah, for sure, and like, don't even think about like target banning Punk. He will laugh in the face of that.
He's like, okay, let me just pick this character.
Exactly, and that's how we would say too. You know it, right? I guess for like the captains, like definitely do Justin Wong and Punk. They stand out. They're the big three. They definitely have good ults as well. But Idem as that's another captain who I feel like he was like mainly Laura, and they were already cracking jokes about it. Like, what are you gonna do if they ban Laura, man? And
he's definitely one of the other people I was thinking about when I was thinking about people who are kind of gonna be a little in the dumpster without their main character. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, maybe because we're sort of touching upon it now, now's a good time to have a look at the teams. So, first team is Team Gale with Knuckledoo as captain, and then Shine and Rob TV on there. Next up, we have Team Spirit with Justin Wong as the captain, Brian F and Psycho on there. And then third team would be Captain Punk, and then it's JB and Broly Legs.
Yeah, then we have Team Storm with Idom as the captain, followed by Samurai and Classico, someone who I'm actually not familiar with. Maybe if I know which character it is. Then we have Team Psycho with Toy as the captain, followed by El Chacote and Justikid, the jury, of course. And then Team Frost with Nephew, Dual Kevin, and Up to Snuff.
So Classico, he plays Yurian, but honestly, on that team, I am most excited about Samurai. Because
Resident Takuma.
Yeah, but like this guy is so smart. Like I kid you not. Like I still feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves because he's like galaxy brain level Kuma.
Yeah, he's like really solid. I really like watching him too.
Yeah, and not only that, he actually didn't even play Kuma. Because he played 1-1. He showcased Karin. I think he took that as well. So yeah, he played very well. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so overall, I feel like I'm just really happy that we finally have a league sort of in the West.
Yeah, same, yeah.
And production value, I was really impressed. Like the commentary team, like we have Rip as a host, and honestly, I haven't seen Rip too much in Pro Street Fighter V since the launch of Arcade Edition. And we got Tasty Steve for the hype and Vicious in the analysis role. I'm actually really happy. I love watching Vicious. Like
Vicious is he just looks nice. It's nice to listen to. Sometimes like you don't need like the brightest personalities or like the most hype people to like make for a fun commentary. Sometimes just a likable person is like the best you can have, in my opinion.
For sure. If you want to ask Vicious out on a date, you'll have to wait until after the podcast, though. Also, if I don't beat you to it, that's for sure.
Oh baby.
But yeah, so I don't know.
The prediction value is really good though. Like it kind of reminds me of I don't know if you remember, and I'm not even sure if it's officially Street Fighter V sponsored, but I'm pretty sure it was. It was like a like almost a game show with Lothar God, Guilty, like the.
Oh, you talking about the E-League, the Challenger?
Yeah. Like it kind of reminds me of that. Like that one was pretty like, even though in my opinion the tournament itself was kind of meh because the players weren't like too noteworthy. In my opinion, like no offense once again. Like they weren't too interesting to watch to me personally, other than maybe like Rob TV or whatever. But like the whole idea and stuff was fun to watch to me. So I'm just like I said, like we've already said numerous times, I'm happy that we get like more content in general.
Yeah, but for sure, like I completely agree. I really enjoyed like E-League. I enjoyed the Challenger, enjoyed the tournament. Like more content is always good. The one thing, like the one knock I maybe have on the Street Fighter League so far is that, come on man, the commercial breaks like every 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Holy crap. Like get your house in order, please. Like we don't need that many, please.
I mean, season 4, no characters are coming. They gotta make their money somehow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's also true. But yeah, I feel like the only thing that I feel like needs to be said about this thing is, where the hell is Smug? Where is Smug?
Where is Smug? He's literally probably the biggest personality in the FGC. Like YouTube channel is booming. Always gets 10k plus views.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he's great on camera as well. So
yeah, he's an entertainment god.
So I asked around a bit, like what happened to Smug, and like I got these like vague answers. So like he apparently he just didn't qualify based on his CPT performance last time round, and then like maybe he was, I don't know, pissed about it, or he didn't like sign up because he definitely didn't get voted in as well. So
yeah, because I'd imagine if he was like in the vote, he'd probably at least get a spot, right?
But for sure. I mean, come on. Sorry, no offense, but like Psycho, I've never heard of this guy.
Same with Costico, I'm pretty sure Smug would definitely like, get a spot for these people, like some of these people.
Yeah, for sure. So that's like the one thing. Like I kind of miss Smug. I really enjoy watching.
Yeah, very true, very true. Didn't even think of that, but yeah, you're right.
All right, so I guess with that, I'm really looking forward to the first day, and that's actually already going to be this week, right? So in
Yeah,
about 3
it
days.
is.
The three first matches we've got coming up, we have Team Gale versus Team Spirit, Team Inferno versus Team Frost, and Team Psycho versus Team Storm.
So Team Gale versus Team Spirit, it was, right?
Yeah.
So that will be Knuckledoo's team versus Justin Wong's team.
Mm-hmm.
That's been interesting. Do you have any idea of like how are the player matchups gonna go? Are they like randomized or?
I don't have a clue.
Or is it like captain like actually like ordered? Like they are ordered right now. That's what I'm not
It'd
sure
be
about.
really cool if to have it sort of like almost like a Go tournament where you have like the first board, second board, third board.
Yeah,
like...
right. Cause that's how the Rage tournament works, right? Because you had like extreme class, and then like I don't remember how they titled it, but like semi-pro class. I'd imagine it's like pretty much the title, and then beginner class, but they were not beginners, like not really beginners at least. And that's how they like did it, and it was always the extreme class being like Keto, like the top players versus each other, and then the high class people against the other team's high class person, and so forth. So
honestly, if you look at the way like the teams are shaped, like that's not even a coincidence anymore. Because people like, you know, Shine, Brian F, Shakote, Samurai, they're definitely like legit contenders, right? Whereas then like you have people like, yeah, I don't know, maybe a Broly Legs or a Psycho. Like you see these a little bit less.
I'm actually not sure anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be the way they.
Then again, you have like in Team Gale, like Rob TV as the ender. He's pretty good though, so I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. But like, I mean, they made captains for a reason, I'd imagine. So maybe they will put at least the captains against each other every time. Who knows? But yeah, we'll be looking forward to that format. Maybe they already announced how it's gonna work, but we just don't know. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh, baby, like immediately, episode 1, research insufficient. Breakdown. Yeah, no. By the way, and you mentioned that Rob TV is like a good finisher. Rob TV had a rough night, man, on draft. I think he lost every single game.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, but
I mean, to be fair, the last I remember from Rob TV was him playing in the E League, and that was against like Guilty and other like not top players, and he was kind of like bodying all of them. So I just like maybe my my opinion is a little clouded, you know.
Okay, but yeah, no, I also remember him as definitely like, you know, being solid. So I'll definitely look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe we wrap up the Street Fighter League here.
Yeah.
Maybe one last thing before we move on to the Japanese leagues. The prize pool.
Yeah.
Let us know, man.
Yeah, the prize pool is like actually pretty big. So third place gets $6,000, second place gets $15K, and first place gets $30,000. So it's definitely you're definitely playing for something, you know, not just for publicity or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Like that first prize looking pretty juicy.
Which is a very nice bonus, you know, like to know that there's at least something on the line. Makes it probably more interesting for the players themselves too. So
yeah, especially if for like some of the people that are maybe a bit less known. You know, combine if you take like second or first place and then combine that with like the added viewers maybe for your Twitch channel, and all of a sudden like you go from amateur to like semi-pro or pro status.
Yeah, very true.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. All right, so the Japanese leagues, that's kind of your thing, right? So let us
I wouldn't say it's necessarily my thing, but yeah. So Rage kind of recently just ended. Should I spoil who won or like? Or how should I?
I mean, yeah, it ended like almost a month ago, right? And we put up a big fat spoiler warning, so you spoil away, my man. Okay.
So yeah, basically it was split up in 6 teams, with the team captains being very notable top players, being Fudo, Tokido, Daigo, Mago, Nemo, and Itazan. And the team that actually ended up winning was Itazan, so with his Zangief almost exclusively.
Oh, but wait, so did that tournament run all the way like season 4, or did it start in season 3, or how was that?
I'm actually not too sure on that one, but I'm pretty sure it was both, maybe? But yeah, so basically how it works is you have, I kind of briefly explained it earlier, but you have 3 different like skill levels, so to say. First you have the extreme class, which are like the top players. So the extreme class players are, like I said earlier, Itazan, Nemo, Mago, Daigo, Tokido, and Fudo. and those will always have to play against each other. So you're not gonna have to play against like a beginner. You're always gonna have to play against someone from your own class. Then you have like the semi-pro class, which are players who are like pretty known in the scene, but maybe not at the top yet, like traveling overseas and all that stuff. And like they're called high class, I'm pretty sure in Japanese. And there were definitely players I definitely knew. So notable players are Sakagami. He's a ball rock player from Japan. You might know him.
I've actually never heard of him.
Oh, he was actually also the player who won the most in the tournament in his class, in the high class. I'm pretty sure he had a 70% winning rate.
Shit! All right,
Then you have Kawano, the Colleen, which is also very interesting because he's the person who came to Brussels, right, and got top 8 with Colleen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
if
remember
it's the same
that
person at least, I'm pretty sure it's the same person. Let me double check just in case. Yes, it is indeed. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. You also have Mochang. He's a Fang player. Pretty sure he's like Ultimate Grandmaster, stuff like that. So yeah, the high class was still consistent of at least players that I already knew, like pretty known players in Japan, but maybe a little less known in the Western regions. And then you had the beginner class, right? And this was decided by, I'm pretty sure, a tournament. So like, it was like an open tournament, maybe, or I'm not too sure in the like extreme specifics, but it was decided that way, and every team got like a beginner that way. And I was watching Tokido stream. I'm pretty sure they like trained their beginners themselves as well a little. So
they're actually pretty good about that, right? Like I feel like Japan's really good at sort of transferring knowledge and like training sort of the next generation. Like
definitely.
Momochi, obviously, like super well known for that, and
yeah. And I'm also like, I'm pretty sure these beginners were pretty good. So, but yeah, that's basically the format of the tournament, and we saw the teams face off, and it was very awesome because you could like pretty much always watch a first to 3 between like the top players that you might only see in like top 8s of big premier tournaments, but you could see like all the time pretty much, which was like very appealing.
All right. Are there like any notable upsets that happened, or like good matches that you think, okay, that stood out, that was really good matchup? Or
that's the thing, right? Like I think all the matchups were just like you just, especially the extreme class. Of course, like I don't want to take anything away from the high class people because these matches were very good as well. But to me, I definitely like the extreme class matches the most, right? Between all the top players, the people we know. Especially Itabashi Zangief, you know, he went almost exclusively Zangief and won the entire tournament, like I said earlier. So his matches against Tokido, for example, are always fun to watch in my opinion. Akuma versus Zangief.
Yeah, don't tell me, but like I've been grinding that matchup hard, and it still kicks my ass.
yeah, it's very awesome to watch. I'd say Mago did not as well as I thought he might do, but
Wait, Mago, is he still on the Kami, or?
Yeah, like that's kind of maybe his. I don't want to say it's his issue because he's really good, right? And I think Kami's still good as well, but yeah, he's just not been. I remember his Yang days from Street Fighter 4 near the end. He was just so dominant, you know. He won some tournaments as well and stuff, but I just feel like we haven't been able to like see him in that same state that we have in Street Fighter 4 and maybe even the entire lifetime of Street Fighter 5, to be honest. So.
Yeah, because I know the name, like I know he's mentioned as being like one of those absolute top dogs, but honestly, because I joined really late, I joined like after the launch of Arcade Edition, and like honestly, I don't see it, well, so far at least.
Yeah. So like in Street Fighter 5, he played Fei Long for a long time, and he did really well. But then he switched to Yang, and then he just started winning tournaments and doing like actually being very top player, you know. And even in Japan now, like I follow the Topanga and all those like podcast / show kind of shows. I really follow them, and all the Japanese players, including Tokido and everyone, really look at Mago as like the guy to go for like Street Fighter knowledge. Basically, like he knows everything and how to like fight matchups and stuff. And I've seen numerous times where he was literally teaching Tokido and another, maybe Fudo even, like how to fight against Birdie and how to deal with his enters. And yeah, like even if he's not doing like amazing himself right now, he's definitely still the man with the knowledge. So I would never count him out. Maybe he'll find a change, or in the next Street Fighter, you don't know, you know.
Hey, who knows? We might eventually get a season 4 We might get some new characters. Maybe we find something that like really works for Mago, and he he ascends to his previous peaks.
Indeed.
All right. Is there anything else we should know about the Rage League or Japanese leagues in general, or?
Japanese leagues, yeah. If you want to watch them, definitely watch them. Support your scene, but the problem is it's not on Twitch, of course. So you'll have to go to openreg.tv, which, like, personally, I've experienced a lot of issues with, but it's still decent. But yeah, that's it pretty much, to be honest.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I really like the Rage League. Check it out. Follow it.
Yeah,
support your favorite players.
Gotta do that. Yeah, I think I might go back and check some of the VODs. Yeah, one thing is Otani in it.
No, he's actually not. No, because
bummer.
I mean, of course, you'd expect Otani to be. He would probably be the high class in this.
Yeah, I'd assume so.
It's kind of weird because like I'm literally looking at the player rankings right now, so it's literally like categorized. So the extreme class, the high class, and the beginner class.
That's so Japanese too, right?
Yeah,
like,
it really
put
is.
everybody like you know what level you are, and you call the person above you son, and the people below you couldn't. That's how it goes.
I like it though, because it is like a clear difference in like the skill level, and they get to fight against each other and they're a team, so it's really awesome, I think, personally. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, Otani, I would put him in the high class, so with Sakagami Kawano, like known players, but like maybe not up there with like the top players. I would put him there like a couple of months ago even maybe. But lately I feel like he's really been putting on a show, and while he might not be like getting consistent winners top 8 or whatever, I still feel like he's definitely becoming like more common presence in the FGC. So I would kind of want to place him like in between the Tokido and Nemo, like the top player class and the high class. But
yeah, he's definitely a guy I really like watching.
Yeah, he streams often too on Twitch, so
right.
Definitely check him out.
Cool. Alrighty.
I also want to note, you have these 3 different classes, right? And for the high and extreme class, you all have their like gamer tags, Mago, Fudo, Daigo, Zangief, Nemo. And for the high class, you have Kawano, Mochan, Anman, which is like a Urian player, stuff like that. And then when you go to the beginner class, you literally just see full names.
But seriously?
So that's how you know they're not that well versed in this.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Takeshi Yamada, we see you, boy.
We see you.
Oh man, okay, that's fun. All right, good. Yeah, if it's okay with you, I guess we move on to the CPT here.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds good.
Right. Oh, goddamn kids, man.
Fucking kids.
Oh, baby. All right, so yeah, next up would be the CPT events, and we've actually had quite a few of them, and I'm so glad that the season is back. Like the off season,
same.
Sucks, man.
It sucks. Like there's no news usually. There's no tournament. Like I mean, even now people are speculating the game's fucking dead. But you know, when there's no tournaments, it's hella dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So basically we just had the biggest tournament of the year for Belgians, the CPT ranking event, Brussels Challenge Major.
Oh, baby.
You were there, right? You attended. So
I was, yeah.
All right, tell us something. How was the tournament? How are your matches?
Yeah, first of all, I think in general the tournament was like really awesome. Everything was like really well planned, and like especially because I hear these stories from other tournaments, right? Even like very big premier events have so many issues with sound and this and that and all that stuff. But on that aspect, like I think Brussels Challenge was very well organized, was very fun. The venue was like very spacious, so it didn't feel too like cropped at many times. One thing I might note is like I could definitely appreciate a couple more setups for Street Fighter 5, but like then again there were probably a lot more attendees than they expected for Street Fighter 2, so yeah, in general, I think that the event was just awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess that's probably like the one knock I heard is that because there were so many people there were maybe not enough casual stations, but I guess that's about it.
Especially on Sunday. On Sunday were a lot of the anime games, and they switched like literally half of the Street Fighter setups for games that people weren't even really playing that much. So there were like
bathwater games.
Yeah, so there were like 80 people standing and like 7 setups the final day, so that was a bummer.
But on the other hand, I did hear, I believe it was Abu, the TO for like the big tournament in Paris. That's a UFA, right?
Yes.
He provided apparently like made sure there were headphones for all of the other setups.
Yeah,
as well.
There were like every setup had sound. It was like regulatable with your like little soundboard in front of the monitor. It was really good. Like, in general,
sick!
It was very awesome.
That's nice. Yeah, because I was sick in bed, but I did at Sunday I was sort of catching up with the stream, and like the Abu, like the guy, he was playing really well because he was going far in the tournament as well, and he just like literally always pulled up on stage with this tiny laptop because he was TOing another tournament at that time.
What a legend!
Oh man, like that guy's ballers for sure. So yeah. So definitely the venue looked really nice. What about the How about your games? Because you did actually pretty decent, right?
I did pretty decent. Yeah, I first round I played against our own Belgium Lara player Pyaku, known for his crazy Lara play. I won against him with my Colleen. And I moved on to fight against the Japanese god Trashbox, number 1 on CFN.
The number one headband.
Yep. And like a fellow Colleen player from the Netherlands who is really good as well. Just played against him before Trashbox had to play me, also with Colleen, and he got like Swift 4-0'd in rounds on stream.
Oh yikes.
So that was like, okay, I'm just gonna do my best, see what I can do. But I was like very relaxed because I didn't have any expectations. I was like, okay, this is gonna be like 4-0 probably. But it wasn't on stream because they just played Trashbox on stream, and he bopped his opponent. But then I got to play, and I watched Momochi's grand finals against Fudo the night before, and I analyzed that match. And I tried to copy some of the stuff.
Also on the birdie tech right now.
Yeah. And I watched that match back. I copied what he did. I got to the final game, stunned him twice, and I barely lost. So.
Oh man. Yeah, but you from what I heard, you really made him sweat. So
Yeah, it was like 1-0 for him. I made him 1-1 with a round where I stunned him. The headphones went off. Japanese people whispering in his ear. That man was sweating.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah. Then I dropped to losers. I won a couple of games, got out of pools, and then I lost in like a nail biter final round against One Step Laird, a Korean from the UK, and I really should have won like 2-0 or at least 2-1. Two times the exact same situation where he had 1 health, like actually like 1 jab, 1 pixel, and I had like 30, 40, 50% life, and I just had to sit back, relax, and jab check or just wait, right? But so many people behind me, the nerves, like I said, against Trashbox, I played out well because I had no self-expectations, But against One Step Laird, I was very confident that I at least could win, right? Not that I was gonna win, but like I could definitely win. And I just jumped twice, like I just held up like a little silver scrub.
Oh, nice shots thrown at all the silver scrubs in there.
No.
I see you, Lucas. I see how it is.
Okay, like the minus rookie scrubs. And I got anti-aired and died literally twice that situation. So I kind of threw the game, but I don't want to be that person that takes credit away from One Step Laird because of course he played really well. But yeah, I was like a nail biter, very close, and I lost there. So.
But it's definitely good. Good experience and
Yeah, it was so fun. Like I said, the whole Belgium FGC cheering me on was an awesome experience. Shout out to my boys. Shout out to the Netherlands FGC as well. They were shouting me on because I had to play the Colleen Mirror against the guy who lost against Trashbox in the losers finals.
Oh.
And I beat him, and we were just homies at that point. So they were like just cheering me on. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, that is kind of like if this person beats you, like you want that person to go far in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah, no, that's nice. And then if we look at the actual bracket, moves on into the top 8. How do you feel like about the matches themselves?
I think the matches were very good. Like I said in the beginning too in the spoilerless section, but like Angry Bird really just blew everything out of the park. Like my expectations, that is, like not only in the tournament, but I was standing behind him in casuals, and he was just bodying everyone. It's actually insane. He played against Problem X in casuals. I'm pretty sure it was like 14-3 or something, like
Yikes.
for Angry Bird, and he was playing against Hurricane, which was also like 15-3 or 4. So like he was definitely very dominant, and he was definitely the player to look out for me, especially because I like playing Zico myself, and just he looked so much better than he used to, and I'm pretty sure he's like getting way more comfortable now in a tournament setting, because I know he was a person who was struggling a lot with nerves during tournaments when he was still new to the scene, like last year. So, and I'm pretty sure he got a lot better with that. So, yeah, and also Takamura, of course,
Our Belgian god.
Yeah, 3-0ing stacks very convincingly with Akuma, then winning final game against Big Bird 3-2 to then kind of get crushed by Problem X, but
yeah,
a very impressive run nonetheless.
There is no shame in losing to
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean,
yeah, true.
Yeah, and Problems, he's sort of continuing on that good form. Like he's actually taking down quite a few tournaments. So
yeah, talking about Problem X, right? Like he I can spoil, right?
Sure, yeah, spoil away.
So yeah, he did lose in the grand finals against Angry Bird, but he still got second place, and then he went on to win April Annihilation just yesterday. So
yeah, exactly. So he's in rare form as well. So. But yeah, Brussels Challenge Major Edition.
Awesome tournament.
Yeah, exactly. It was sad not to be there, but from everything I hear, it was an amazing tournament. So.
Yeah, it was incredible.
All right. Yeah, and I like that you actually brought up April Annihilation. So that that tournament was another ranking event. It concluded just yesterday. And yeah, obviously it's over in the States, so couldn't attend, but check the stream. And at the tournament, it was really stacked. Like it was seriously stacked. For ranking, so maybe there were not that many Japanese players there, but like
you can kind of compare it to Brussels Challenge, where like Brussels Challenge, it was really stacked with like the exception of maybe a couple of top Japanese players and stuff like that, but like everyone that could be there was there, and I'd say it was probably about the equivalent of April Annihilation, where of course like some players were not there, but like the people that could get there were like definitely all there, like the notable American players and
because like
some overseas players.
Because I turn on the stream and the first 3 matches I see is NuckleDo, Problem X, and Punk. And
pretty much.
If you have like those 3 in quick succession on stream, that okay, this tournament is stacked.
It's gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we already mentioned it right after the spoiler section, but man, get wrecked. This Ed player, seriously. Like I was super impressed.
I'm gonna check those replays for
sure.
Yeah,
for sure, gotta check them. So like at first there were like I felt like the tournament like something was off, like when they first started, like maybe they weren't like awake yet because there were quite a few problems because there were like no stream graphics. Like this one guy had to do the commentary alone, and like Twitch chat was hyping up his co-caster Empty Chair Chan, like it was
Empty Chair.
It was oh my goodness, like it's literally still killing me right now. And like he did a good job, but then like they put up some random people until Team BFF, Yipes, and Lee Chan showed up to save the day.
When I was watching, they were already commentating, so
yeah. So I always like watching them. But see, here's the thing now, because obviously like I don't know what happened. Like was Team BFF scheduled to start the tournament? Were they late? Did they see it was not going well? Did they sort of swoop in to save the day?
I'm not sure.
Who knows? We certainly don't. We have no idea. But yeah, so I really like listening to Team BFF as well.
Yeah, like it's just really like casual, like maybe for a top 8 or something I'd like a little more serious, but like before that I definitely could watch the Yipes all day. It's so funny to watch. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have like these like the whole bars thing going on, but then there's like these little songs they're singing, like there's a time to block and a time to guess. Welcome to Street Fighter 5. Like
yeah,
it was. It's probably I completely butchered that song. I'm so sorry, but yeah, it was good fun. They even renamed Problem X to Probum X. I like that.
All right, yeah.
I like Brooklyn.
Problem X from Brooklyn.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, honestly, like, it was a bit surprising. The Chun-Li's in this tournament, man. There were 3 Chun-Li's in top 8. That is
Chun-Li.
That is a season 1 throwback right there.
It really was, and like, I mean, you might start saying, is Chun-Li really that strong? But then again, America is known for having a lot of Chun-Li players, right? Like, there's a bunch of them. Terrence, who got to the Grand Finals. Ricky Ortiz, of course, and like.
Yeah, we had Lud, like Ludovic. He's like, honestly, he's a guy I didn't really know before that, and like for me,
really?
like he like this Chun-Li is on point, man. Like that.
So like he used to exclusively play Chun-Li, and then he switched to Manat.
Oh, he
in
did?
season 3. Yeah, and then he played Manat for the entirety of season 3, I'm pretty sure. But in season 4, I guess he just didn't like the 3-bar victory from Manat and just was feeling Chun-Li more, and I'm pretty sure he's back to playing Chun-Li for the most part now, so.
Huh? Cool.
But yeah, he's definitely not a new player, he's very good.
Oh yeah, well, so yeah, I really like that. I mean, we had a Chun-Li mirror in the winners final, and I guess the only thing with all of those Chun-Lis is that like it was pretty easy for Problem X to sort of warm up in the matchup.
Yeah,
like,
very true.
Losers finals, he got a Chun-Li, and like grand finals, like he had another Chun-Li. And it was at that point, it was looking kind of free. Like he went 6-2 overall, reset the bracket, like went 3-1 both times. So yeah, really, really good showing for Problem X there.
Yeah.
I guess if there's one more match we want to highlight from that top 8, it'd be Knuckledoo versus El Chacote. It was insanely exciting. Like, maybe it wasn't like the cleanest of sets, because, you know, Chacote, he baited a lot of EXDP from Knuckledoo, and but man, was this thing exciting. It was really good.
Yeah, it was a very fun tournament.
Yeah, so actually I really quite enjoyed that. And with that, we have some new CPT standings, right?
Yeah, we do.
Like, I don't know if you have them handy, but maybe we should shoot over there.
I have them open right now.
Oh, baby. So, take us through top 5. Who's there?
So right now, number 1 is Spunk, of course, with 1,055 points. He already won like tournament, then got 2nd place, right? And he got 7th at April Annihilation, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he won final round, which gave him a lot of points, 700 points probably, I'd imagine. Then he won NorCal. He got 2nd at NorCal Regions, losing to Tokido, that amazing grand final, netting him another 350 points. And then he got an amazing 5 points from 7th place.
Oh man,
April Annihilation.
Like Capcom saying, like, yeah, you know, the point distribution, it'll be better this season, but 5 points, really? You're gonna do us like that?
I know it's a ranking event, but there were still a lot of players. But either way, 2nd place Tokido, of course, who got 1st place at NorCal Regions, where Pim got 2nd, got 700 points for that because it's a premier event. And he got 2nd at the C major that happened there in Malaysia.
Yeah.
That's 100 points for him.
That's always a nice tournament. Like, I kind of, like, we didn't cover it this time around, but I always enjoy watching that.
Yeah, same. It's always a fun
that was the one that had Oil King and Xian on the mic, right?
Yes.
Oh, so if you haven't seen that, like, look up that clip. Like, is Xian and Oil King on the mic there? I think they're commentating, like, Fujimura's game. And, it has Xian going, like, that's not gonna kill, that's not gonna kill. Oh my god, that's going to kill. Fujimura is a god, and that's why I'm here.
It was an amazing combo. And then the final round, Tokido got 25th, so yeah, nothing too notable. But yeah, he's still 2nd with 810 points. And a big jump in points. 3rd place, Momochi with 380 points, which is not surprising, right? That he's in 3rd. Like, he won Evo Japan, got 2nd at final rounds, 350 points, 5th at the C major, and then 70th at NorCal region, North Carolina region. Regionals.
We can do that again if you want.
It's fine. And then 4th we have Problem X, of course, who's been performing amazingly in Europe and now outside of Europe, winning April Annihilation. He'll be going to the Mixup as well, where there's going to be a lot of top players, so we'll see how he does there. And then 5th we have Razor Chien with 320 points. He won the Asia Southeast. What was it? It was an online tournament, I'm pretty sure. That's what got him 200 points, so that's like the biggest reason why he's in 5th right now. No offense, of course. There's a lot.
None taken, I'm sure.
There's also a lot of top players in the online tournament anyway, so it's actually like no offense because it's still a very stacked tournament. And I got 7th at final round, 17 in North region. So. Yeah, and then we have Fujimura, Fudo, Angry Bird, of course, who just won versus challenge, John Takeuchi, and Johnny, with all around 200 points. But yeah, it's still really early, right? Like, there's a lot of people who got like one good performance, and that's why they're still at the top right now. So
yeah, there's a couple of people in here who I don't expect to be here, sort of like at the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like Terrence,
like Terrence,
but you know, definitely credit to him. Like, even though grand finals was maybe a bit of a wash, like he played very, very solidly in that tournament. My boy CJ Truth is in here. He's definitely gonna stay up here for sure. Like.
I mean, I'm curious to how much he travels, to be honest. Like, what are his plans, you know?
Oh, yeah,
I'd imagine he's going to go to Combo Breaker, right? The Premier event next month in America. So. I don't know if he's going to go to any overseas tournaments, but yeah.
Yeah, and then like other like notable ones, of course, they're all notable players, right? Gachikun, Oil King. Yeah. I really like Brian F, to be honest. Like he just got the new sponsor. Oh, did you see the announcement trailer for his like new team?
No, I didn't.
No, so actually, I think but I don't watch a whole lot of Brian F streams, but I think his dojo is called like the Trash Can or something, right?
Maybe.
And there's like this whole meme about like him being trash or like.
Oh right, yeah. I feel like I saw that pass on Twitter, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then like the team, like they played into that perfectly. If you haven't seen the announcement trailer, check it out. It is baller, like for real. So yeah, then of course we got GamerB, Boncha, and Daigo in there. I'm Chuan, yeah, the Malaysian guy.
He's really good.
Yeah, that is one solid guile for sure. And then like this Bravery guy from Singapore. Sorry, dude, never heard of you before. I don't expect you'll be here at the end of the season. But then, yeah, and of course, as Lucas would say it, no offense, of course.
No offense, of course.
I mean, yeah, and then all the way at the bottom, my man Knuckledoo with the full 80 points.
Oh,
that's gonna change for sure. Like he's gotta get up there because he's one of the only players who's still sponsored by Echo Fox.
Yeah, like they dropped everyone and then sponsored Knuckledoo. Which caused a lot of controversy, but yeah.
Like, why on earth would they drop my man Takedo? Like, who's on the eye drop tech now? Honestly,
I don't know.
The eye drops seem to be working for him, but yeah, that's.
I mean, it worked for Trashbox in my pool because I lost the game after he put in the eye drops.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, like the magic eye drop tech.
Yeah, so it was 1-1. I stunned his ass. He got advice from the Japanese people. He put in the eye drops and I lost the final game.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
But yeah, so Knuckledoo, even though he's at the bottom of this, like, not the bottom of course, but like 25th on this list, he still got 13th and 17th respectively at North Cal Regions and final round, which were both like stacked tournaments, like everyone was there, right, from like the entire world, and he still got like top 16 pretty much on both of them. So definitely don't count him out. He'll be back. He'll probably. I wouldn't be surprised to see him a little higher in like a top ranking event either. So.
Yeah, I think he really got like you said, he got the short end of the stick with the point distribution, right? He definitely should be higher, and he will be higher at the end of the season.
For sure.
All right. So you already touched upon it, and that is next weekend. We have the mix-up coming up. And there's man, the players confirmed for this event.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
There's way too many to name, but we're gonna give you a quick overview nonetheless. In no particular order, people that have been confirmed are Tokido, Fujimura, Momochi, NL, Verloren, Oil King, Daigo, Shen, Nemo, Fudo, Dogura, Phenom, Problem X, that Problem X.
Yeah.
Luffy, Sako, Punk, Itasan, our very own Takamura, John Takeuchi, man.
Moke, yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I'm really happy to see. I'm really happy to see Takamura traveling again. Let's.
Yeah, I mean it's very nice as well, right? Because it's pretty close to Belgium, so.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I feel he kind of got burned out on traveling, right? A couple seasons ago.
Yeah, like I'd say it was pretty recent, but I'm pretty sure he got over it pretty quick, maybe like a couple of months, and I'm pretty sure he was like still training very hard, and especially the upcoming weeks or even months to Brussels Challenge, he was definitely training, and we saw the results. You know, he got third.
Yeah, for sure. Like he wanted a strong showing, and he definitely got one. Like I think like he if he were to travel to more events, like I don't know how possible it would be for him to do so, but like if he did, I feel like he could make Capcom Cup for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised for sure. But yeah, so this tournament is super stacked, right? Especially for an EU tournament. I mean, it is a Premier, but yeah, Tokido, Fujimura, like all these Japanese top dogs, a lot of them are here. Gonna be a blast to watch, honestly.
Mhm.
Can't wait.
Yeah, same here. And I guess that almost wraps it up. But there's one more thing I'm gonna hit you with. So,
baby.
You better believe it. Like April Annihilation, Team BFF, they were sort of discussing like who they felt are currently like the greatest Street Fighter V players in the world. And Yipes, he brought up his top 3. He said Problem X, current Evo champ, makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Gachikun, the Capcom Cup champion. And then he added Momochi, the Evo Japan champion. So he went with a 3-champion team. How do you feel about that?
I see. I think I only agree with Momochi on this one. I think Problem X and Gachikun are both really good, but I don't know if they'd make the top 3 for me personally. I would definitely put Tokido in there. Like that man is just first place, second place, first place, second place. Like
yeah,
you'll say he's washed up if he's 9th. That's how consistent he is. Like it's actually
exactly
insane.
Right. Yeah.
So I would definitely put Tokido in there. Like no matter what game, that man's gonna put in the work. It's just body everyone, right? And then the last place, I mean, maybe even Punk. Like that man just wins. I mean, sometimes he looks a little. He has some periods where he doesn't really do. Right? Whereas Tokido maybe has a little more consistency, but when he does well, he does really well, right? In what tournaments he tends to. So
yeah, he's a very streaky player, right? Like he'll get hot and then he'll like be unbeatable for a couple of months, and then like he'll sort of sink back a bit.
The dominant streak he had, it was also when Kareen was very, very strong, and when he was having like a little bit of a dip, and we really like didn't really see him like that much. Kareen was actually not that good. Like Kareen was okay, but not that good. And this season she's in incredible spot again, and we've already been seeing the results. Right, he got first at an incredibly stacked tournament, then second at another incredibly stacked tournament. So, and he did confirm on Twitter that he's gonna go full Kareen in the Mixup, another very stacked Premier event. So,
oh, that's cool.
I definitely do expect him doing well there.
Yeah, like he Punk, because he was on like one of the No Frills podcast. Shout out to the No Frills podcast. Like,
baby.
Like it's kind of weird that we're like on a podcast and like shout out to another podcast, but you gotta do it. That thing is just too awesome. But yeah, he was talking about like the thing he dropped Karin, right, at a certain point, like. There were these patch notes, and he admitted this himself. He read the patch notes. He went, "Ah man, this is some whack shit," and then he didn't even test it out. He didn't even fire up the lab. He said like he immediately like dropped her ass and he started playing other stuff.
Yeah, and he played a lot of Cammy for a while, but like we never saw him have the dominant like streaks that he had with Kareem, and that it looks like he's gonna go back on these like dominant kind of winning streaks right now, right? Like first and second at the 2 big tournaments. So we'll see how this continues through the year. But
yeah, I definitely I look forward to that because he's such an entertaining player to watch, right?
Yeah, he is. He is
both in game and like his interaction like with the player sitting next to him. Now, for me personally, I definitely agree with Momochi. Momochi's a god. Like he's had a really good season so far.
Yeah.
Like Tokido, that's a no-brainer. It's my man Akuma, and he's like the most consistent person in the world. But honestly, I'm gonna keep Problem X in. Like.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I can see it too.
Yeah, it's.
I would put it myself, but like I'm not gonna go like, that's wrong. Like I can see it.
Yeah, so yeah, apart from that, like I like the list. So yeah, that honestly that wraps it up for me. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add here.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I think we covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover. So.
All right, so we'll get this out as soon as possible. Thank you so much if you're still around for listening to the entire thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Share it with your grandma so she doesn't need to use sleeping pills to fall asleep. Thank you.
Oh, baby. Them shots fired. All right, so what we'll do is we'll add a whole bunch of links in the description down below so you can easily find all the things we've been talking
Shout
about.
out to Hushfield for the production.
No, but seriously, so thank you so much for listening. If you do like what you hear, subscribe to the FGC Belgium YouTube channel. And yeah, hit that bell. Hit that bell. Ding,
Hit
ding,
that
ding.
bell, motherfucker.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. We definitely did. We'll be back soon with sort of a wrap up of the mix-up and a sort of a preview of what's coming after that. So yeah, Lucas, take us home, man.
Yeah, thanks y'all for listening. Hope to see you next time. See you later. Signing off.
All music for the Crosscut DP podcast has been provided by Cut Records. Check them out at cutrex.com.